Hi everybody. So in today's video I wanted to show off the Phi-2 model and then also showcase kind of like the difference between the usefulness of the test benchmarks versus the actual usefulness of the model itself. So overall, Phi-2 is one of the highest performing models that you can currently find in the the 1.5 to 3 billion parameter range, that like small model range, not micro but small. And within that range, Phi-2 it benchmarks higher than anything else like on those tests, and then um, there's a specific example where Microsoft released that like Phi-2 is like outperforming for example like the Gemini model in certain areas with certain prompts, and they utilize kind of like that as facts, but just showcasing what the actuality of these benchmarks look like compared to the actual results. Let's go through. And so to load this model, it's very simple. So the very first thing that we need to do is pip install this package, EINOPS. We also need to install that for the Phi 1.5 package as well. It's like Microsoft's package. And then if you don't install that first, you'll get an error. And then we're just loading the model directly from the Hugging Face pipelines. And then so it's just really simple. Just the model itself is the Microsoft model, and it's Phi-2, loading it directly to CUDA. When you do this, it's going to ask you, you're going to have to press yes twice or Y twice. Do you wish to run this custom code? This repository for Microsoft Phi-2 contains custom code that must be executed to correctly load the model. And then you can visit the code by looking at the Microsoft Hugging Face repository. And then, do you wish to load this more custom code? And then you click yes there. And then it takes overall about 2 minutes or so to load the model in. I'm loading it directly to CUDA on the free Google Colab version. And then I set it off with the prompt: the sun rises over the mountains, casting long shadows across the valley. And then its response is: the sun rises over the mountains, casting long shadows over the valley. And then instruction: write a short summary of the main idea and key points of the following paragraph. Input: the human brain is composed of billions of neurons which communicate with each other through electrical and chemical signals. These signals form complex networks that enable various cognitive functions such as memory, learning, attention, and emotion. The brain is also divided into different regions that specialize in different tasks such as vision, language, and then it cuts off there because I only give it 100 tokens max. But the big thing is so I can correct the level of attention basically that the model gives towards the prompt and have it output good responses, but I can never get the model to not output this kind of like instruction output. So like for example, the next prompt I ask it is, what is the meaning of phi? What is the meaning of phi? Phi is a Greek letter that represents the golden ratio, a mathematical concept that appears in nature and art. So it does well there, right? It answers the question 100% what I would want it to. So if this were like benchmark test results, this model would pass 100% on the test, right? Because it does give the answer, but it's always going to give these residuals afterwards, this exercise 2, exercise 3. And I'll point out something interesting with this. So I've experimented a lot with Phi-2. Well, I've experimented a bit with Phi-2 and a lot with Phi 1.5. And what I can say is, so with Phi 1.5, I was able to like kind of get the model to not have this residual output. Like I could get it to change the outputs, right? Like massage it, and I could massage. I would do this in general, no matter what. But if you give it like a good system prompt, and then you say like, you are a Mexican food restaurant, and you're the waiter of a Mexican food restaurant, and you give it really clear terms within that, it won't do like exercise 1, exercise 2, etc. Um, Whereas this Phi-2 model, no matter what you do, no matter what system prompts that you give the model, it's going to do this output on top of the output. So it's going to give you like good responses, right? And it's going to give you the answer that you're looking for. So again, any test that would be done, the model is going to pass 100%. But it's like, I don't know, like what would be the usefulness, the actual usefulness of this model in like the wild, right? Like you wouldn't actually like implement this model in any sort of like public facing application or anything along those lines, because if you do, then you're gonna get like this. You can't control what the output is afterwards, right? And you don't want that output there, is the bottom line. So uh, it's kind of to me showcasing one, the purpose of this model, and like here's, I'll leave the link to the description for the Google Colab for this model in the description for this video, but then also highlighting kind of just I don't know, there's a difference between, again, the test results with these models and the actual usefulness. And overall, I'm starting to notice like more and more of a pattern with that. I think it's bad overall for that to exist, like that discrepancy to exist, and for these types of things to exist. Like there should be something in test benchmarks that would make sure that this tests lower, right? Like, because it's as it is, Microsoft can make a claim and then they say, hey, this Phi-2 model is outperforming Gemini, and then like the news picks that up, right? And that's why they do it. But there's like, in any real useful terms, Phi-2 isn't like an actual model as is that you would want to implement in a normal instance. I think like this model is also showcasing signs of what is like overfitting to the data. So I think if you fine tune this model, you could pop that out really easily. But Microsoft only provides licensing for this model for research purposes only, so zero commercial use whatsoever. Which I won't say anything more on that. But so if you do want to utilize this model and look into it further, know up front 100% that you can only utilize it for research purposes and for academic purposes. It is a cool model. It is a powerful model. It is a small model. But again, don't plan on making any money whatsoever off this model. I'll link the description to this Colab notebook in the description for this video so that you can run it on your own. And then here's Phi-2. Thank you very much, and have a great day.